We're live. What do you have to
Hi.
say? Hi, everybody. This is kind of a pop-up last-minute decision Sarah and I made, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah. We just decided to do a little chat. You wanted to talk about coming together, right?
yeah.
So we just wanted to say hi to everybody and show you what it's kind of like when we do our little videos and stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about? What does coming together mean for you?
Well, what it means for me is like boys and girls, like women and men come together and then like celebrate each other
And they
instead
celebrate each other.
instead of like fight.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good. What made you think of that?
Well, she and I were talking about earlier about how like boys don't hang out with girls hang out with boys.
Well, they do, but she was saying that if a boy and a girl even talk to each other in high school, then
Then
people
people think
think they're dating
dated.
or they like each other romantically.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay to be friends with
Yeah.
anybody. Yeah, I agree. What else do you think it means to celebrate somebody when you say when you use that word?
Like
I like that word.
the difference. That
Celebrate our
like
differences,
people disabilities like me.
like honoring someone with disability. Yeah, how do we do that? How do you think we do that?
We could tell them like you're special and like that you can be anything when you grow up.
So if we tell people, it doesn't matter who they are, right? That they're special, that they have something unique to offer the world, that they can be anyone they want to be when
And
they
I
grow
have
up.
to listen to boys
They don't have to listen to
that
bullies.
the people that think that
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I like that, Sarah. What else does it mean to come together?
it doesn't matter if we're black or white.
It doesn't matter what race we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because we all have the same insides, we all have feelings
It
and
reminds me of Rosa Parks.
yeah. Mhm.
Like when she used to read a sheet for a man like a man. Because just because she she was different doesn't mean she had to give up that sheet for God.
Hmm. So you said just because she's different.
Doesn't mean she has to like give up
What do you mean by that?
I think she
Yeah, I agree with you. What do you mean by just because she was different?
like she or the God could say anyone that what it
Yeah,
is,
I agree with you, but what do you mean by she was different? What do you
and
mean?
she's a black person.
Mhm. Is that really different?
Mm, no,
But maybe
to us it is.
to us it is,
Mm,
right? And to them they might feel different
mm,
too. So it sounds like maybe you feel like you understand what it's like to feel different,
mm.
right? Is that what you're saying? And that's why you connected to her story?
Yeah,
Do you want to show people your special mug?
it's from Coles.
It's from Kohl's. It's your Minnie Mouse mug, right?
The same
Yeah.
had two.
Yeah.
One from grandma that's red, one that's pink.
Mhm. Yep. So what else did you want to say?
That it reminds you of the song that Mandy used to write.
We already talked about that though in a different video.
Mm,
Yep.
and that we don't have to fight, but we can fight for each other.
We don't have to fight against each other, but we can fight for each other. What do you mean by that? I like that phrase thing.
Like
What's that mean to you?
it means that uh, means that we could stand up for each other.
Standing up for each other
If someone gets bullied.
if someone gets bullied. So when you're saying fighting for someone, you're saying defending them, maybe standing up for them in the face of injustice or
Yeah.
violence, right? So when you're talking about bullies, you're talking about all the ways that people are treated unfairly, right? And all the ways that they might be hurt, maybe through not just behavior, but through our words, don't you think sometimes? I like that. So fighting for someone doesn't just mean Like, you're not talking about fighting, like aggressive fighting. You're talking about defending someone, standing up for them. Yeah, I like that. What else does that mean to you?
It means that we could, it means that we could, like, how do I put it well?
No, just say it.
It means, like, like, not, like, get anyone back who at the top.
So not retaliate if someone hurts us. Is that what you're saying? Are you thinking of a specific example, Sarah? Did something happen recently? So, hi everybody who's joining us. Sarah and I are talking today about um, celebrating and honoring all of everyone's differences and including people. And today is Sarah's first day of summer vacation. So she's home and she's able to kind of do this impromptu little conversation.
Yeah, I'm in 6th grade.
You'll miss 6th grade. Yeah. So when you're talking about bullies and you're talking about fighting for or defending someone or um, choosing not to retaliate if somebody hurts us, what made you think of that? Was there something that you saw happen at school or something that you experienced that made you think of that?
People doing that.
Oh, do you wanna tell them that? That's a little different than hurting a person. It is disrespecting property. It is being destructive and disrespecting property. How do you think that might indirectly hurt a person? Can you think of maybe the maintenance staff? What are they gonna have to do? So, Sarah, why don't you tell our friends that story of what
So
happened?
when one day in 6th grade, our class was going to the bathroom. I went in the bathroom and some of the stall doors were broken and there's toilet paper on the ceiling.
Like paper wads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how are you connecting that story to not retaliating and making sure we defend and stand up for what's
And what we
right?
clean up the mess and help maintenance clean up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So, helping the maintenance staff to clean up the mess would be a way of making something right that was a bad choice. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. That is true, that sometimes we don't necessarily make the mess. Sometimes we don't do the like, remember your little mop picture that you did the other day?
Yeah.
You said sometimes when we make a mess, we can use a mop to clean it up. Well, sometimes we don't even make the mess and we can still choose to help make it right, to help clean up
Yeah.
somebody else's mess because we wanna do something that's kind. Is that kind of what you're saying? I really like that, Sarah. It's a really good example. Is there something else that you can kind of talk about that ties in with maybe an act of kindness that either someone's done for you or you've done for somebody else, or someone has celebrated who you are? Because that's what you were saying, that we should celebrate our differences no matter who we are,
And
right?
we thought we did it at high school.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to tell our friends that story? Okay, go ahead.
I had surgery.
It was one of the ones you had last year. So it was probably your oral surgery?
And and that Annie found out at school because everyone told everyone at school I was having surgery, and Annie decided to make dinner for our family.
So Sarah had many of you know that Sarah's had a lot of surgeries, and this one was an outpatient oral surgery last year, last fall.
And we got
And I want to say your teacher actually asked permission from me and then to ask you for permission if we could share with the school that you were having surgery because they wanted to remember you and pray for you. And so I said that you wanted them to do that, right?
to
So, Sarah's teacher shared with basically the entire school that Sarah was gonna have surgery, and her best friend, Annie, asked her mom if they could do something for our family, and so Annie's mom texted me, and she's like, "I don't really know what to do in these kinds of situations," and I'm like, "Well, I really appreciate your offer. What are some things that you feel that you can do or that you would like to do?" And she's like, "Well, could I make your family dinner for so you don't have to cook when Sarah gets home from surgery?" I said, "Yeah, that would be really nice." So, um, Annie and her mom dropped off the meal, and Annie gave Sarah a hug and a gift, I think. She gave you a gift. Didn't she give you a gift too? So that's a way that you're saying your friend Annie was celebrating you, right? And honoring who you are and making sure that she was, yeah, to make sure that you're okay. Yeah. What's a situation that you've maybe done that for somebody else?
Uh, I made a card for Miss Anne when she was sick.
You made a card for who?
Miss Anne, Nana's neighbor, and we dropped off flowers for her kid.
Okay. So Sarah's talking about her Nana, my mom, one of her best friends is very ill with cancer, with lung cancer. And Sarah, you're saying you made her a homemade card and you went with Nana to drop off some flowers too. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. What do you think a special handmade note might mean to somebody who's feeling really sick or maybe they're in pain? What do you think that might mean? Yeah, how? How does it brighten their day?
You can smile and look at it or hang it on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, they can. Do you think maybe it helps them realize that they're important to somebody, that they matter? That someone took the time out of their life and their busy, busy schedule
Yeah.
to just sit down long enough to think of them and to write a little note?
Yeah, that reminds me of something else.
Okay.
So, do Prodigy, which is like a friendship lesson in our classroom. We watched the video lady who like passed out these You Matter cards and it spread worldwide.
You matter cards? That's great. It almost reminds me of your kindness cards in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In passing out your plant seeds of kindness cards. Maybe some of our friends who are watching here today know what we're talking about. Do you want to name who these people are, Sarah? Do you know any of them? Mia Jane, Jennifer, Nathan, Crispy, and Heidi. You want to say hi to them? They probably, some of them, I know at least Chris does, knows about your kindness cards, right? So you're saying that when you're thinking about giving someone a special little memento of some sort, like a note or a card, that it can help them realize that they matter in the world, right? They matter to at least one person. Do you think that I think about this a lot, Sarah, that we live in a world now where there's so many fast-paced interactions, especially digitally. Like we're using a computer right now. I use a computer for my work. Dad does too. You guys have your own computer for school. I almost really feel like the act of creating a card, a greeting card, and sitting down with a pen to just write just 2 sentences to somebody is huge. It's such a powerful gesture,
Yeah.
and it makes such an impact because we don't do that very much anymore, right? We've kind of lost the art, I'm gonna call it an art, of letter writing, which is something I really love to do, and you are really good at writing letters.
It's
You mean like to draw a special I'm talking about writing a note, but, you can do that. You can add your own art. See, Chris put in the chat, "We love the Seeds of Kindness cards. We've given out 3 so far."
Aw,
What do you think of that?
that's
That's really special, isn't it? Right? Do you wanna tell our friends about, my doctor that you made a card for? 'Member? Who I saw yesterday? Tell them about that.
so there's me and mom go to the same doctor and it's called an ears, nose, and throat doctor. And I have Dr. Reddy, which is a really nice doctor, and mom has Dr. Knuckles.
Yeah, and what'd you do for my doctor, Doctor
And
Knuckles?
I met him at the hospital. I had one of my surgeries. I decided to give him one of my plant seeds behind his heart.
Mhm. So, I actually wrote an essay about that time, and our friends, those of you who are watching, if you subscribe to my Substack, later this year, I will be sharing or publishing a story about that when Sarah had her, ENT surgery, and she got to meet my ENT who he took time out of his busy surgical schedule to sit and talk to her before her operation. It was a really, really touching moment and it happened right before the holidays. So it was interesting being in like a sterile clinical setting and having this warmth just really envelop us and wrap around us. And it was a really touching experience.
Anyways, pizza was
So Sarah found out when she got to talk to my ENT some things. She just asked him some trivia questions, like what he likes, and found out that he really likes pizza. And she said, "Well, my dad makes homemade pizza." He's like, "Well, I'm coming over for dinner," that kind of thing. So when you found out I was going to see my ENT yesterday, you gave him a Plant Seeds of Kindness card and you wrote a little note for him, right? So I wanted to tell you that when I handed that to him, he was very, very touched by that in the heart.
equal.
Well, he was just really he just thought it was such a thoughtful thing. He said, "Oh, I remember Sarah. How is she doing? How old is she now?" And then, when he read what you wrote, he said, "Oh, this is so special. I'm gonna put this in a place where I'll never forget it." And, he mentioned the card, like, a few times during my visit with him. So it was really a special thing
Mhm.
to him.
Oh,
And, I've actually received, so we've got some more friends that have joined us too. Do you see that?
yeah.
Um, I've actually received some private notes and messages from our friends on Substack who have shared pictures and stories about how they are using the Plant Seeds of Kindness card and how they're sending greeting cards too. And then there are some people who will share in the comment section on the notes part of Substack on how they're sharing. So your message is kind of like that "You Matter" movement that you were talking about that you learned at school. It's spreading. And I think that that's really important because so many people feel pretty weighed down by the way the world is, and not a lot of people have a lot of hope, Sarah. And I really think that the message that you send, especially through your art and the care and attention that you put into your work and the words that you choose to use, really give people this this lost sense of hope that kind of comes back, you know?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell our friends some of the other things you're working on
Uh,
for your art? I know something.
do I?
You want to tell them about that?
I'm like sketching it up for action, like the colors,
That's okay. You can just tell them the
and then
concept of it.
instead I'll stick out my neck.
So Sarah's working on another set of drawings for different greeting cards that she and I will work together probably this fall to come up with another batch. And some of them will be like maybe fall, winter related. But
Yeah.
this one's really cute. And I think it's kind of an evergreen idea. It's a giraffe that you're going to draw. And it says, "I'll stick my neck out for you," which is really cool because that goes along with what we're talking about today, Sarah, about honoring people of all types, right? No matter who we are, where we come from, or what we believe, no matter what race we are or gender, and also just celebrating each other's differences. I love how you use the word celebrating. I think that's so important because, we live in a world where a lot of times people focus too much on we all have to think the same or be the same in order to belong. And I think you're learning that belonging has to do with all of us coming together and honoring the things that make us different and unique, right? Without requiring everybody to be the same, right? We don't all have to think the same. And in fact, if we all thought the same way or believed the same things, it would be a pretty boring world and we wouldn't be able to learn new things, right? We would all just kind of get stuck in, okay, this is just how it is. So I really love that you brought up how important it is to know when there's something that's going on I'm going to call it an injustice. You said when someone is being bullied or when someone is maybe destroying property or being disrespectful. And you're talking about ways that we can basically spread kindness and bring about a better resolution or something. So we can stand up for someone, right? We can defend them. And you were also talking about with like maybe if somebody destroys property, like at school, you said that we could maybe help the maintenance staff to clean it up, right? Or if we know somebody who's sick or having surgery, we can bring them a meal like Annie and her mom did for us. We can maybe send them a card and some flowers like you did for Miss Anne, Nana's friend, right? So I love that. I love this conversation. And look how many people came up to support you today, Sarah. This is how many people came because they really appreciate who you are and all of the really beautiful things that you say and do. So, do you want to tell our friends about our monthly Zoom call in case they might be interested in joining us sometime?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So every month we have like a Zoom call that everyone can join and like see like talk about like we never like go off topic or something like that.
sometimes we go off topic.
Yeah.
That's okay. So what Sarah and I are what she's talking about is for my paid subscribers, we offer Sarah and I offer a 1 hour monthly Zoom call where my paid subscribers can join us and actually interact with Sarah. They can ask her questions live. So this is like a synchronous conversation. So I know like this live today, you're able to see us in motion in real time, but we can't really see your face or talk to you. But if you are a paid subscriber and you're part of our intimate community, then you are able to join us for our monthly conversation where Sarah kind of shares stories just like we did here in this live. This is kind of a sampling of what we do in those Zoom calls. And so when we're done talking, the two of us, then I stop recording and then we open it up to just a broader conversation with our Substack friends. And it's really a powerful way of connecting on a personal level, and we've gotten to know a lot of our friends that way, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I see that Michael wrote, "Both you and Sarah are both cut out of the picture on my phone. I don't know if it's the same on a computer screen." Well, I hope it's not because I'm on my laptop and Sarah and I can see ourselves in this frame.
Yeah.
I see David here is saying, "Hi, Jeannie and Sarah. It's good to see both of you." Hi, David. Thanks for joining us too. Um, yeah, we're just going to wrap up. But what we were talking about today was celebrating and honoring our differences, no matter who we are, no matter where we come from, what we look like, what we believe in. And Sarah's the one who brought up that topic of conversation today. So I'll have the replay for anybody who wasn't able to really get the first part of that so that you can see the whole thing if you'd like. And I just want to say that honestly, stopping your attention long enough to just sit with us and listen is really a gift to me. Um, Attention is really a matter of presence, and I deeply value any person who chooses to spend any time with us. So I want to thank you all for that. Do you want to say anything else before we leave? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And and that we can still talk to each other. We can't just be friends.
We can still talk to each other.
We don't have to be friends.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you're saying if somebody's having a disagreement, maybe, or maybe they've had like a fracture in their relationship or something? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That we can still be kind to one another even if we're not friends. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, that's good. All right. You want to say anything else? So glad I caught your live. Same here, Mia Jane. It's so great to have you with us. And oh, it's a blessing to see you too. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.